Are wildfires becoming more frequent? The short answer is no. But that answer seems too short. We'll have to dig a little deeper in this video to understand the situation better. Recently, Maui County, Hawaii, experienced one of the largest and most catastrophic wildfires ever seen.
After wildfires raced across Maui.
Despite the debate over the causes, the fact is that many lost their homes and lives in the tragic incident. In the face of events like this, we revisit the subject of wildfires that annually makes headlines. In this universe of news that is sometimes confusing, we will try to organize the data in order to understand if what is happening tends to get worse or if we are just being bombarded by the media. First, let's look at the graph from the 2022 Wildland Fire Activity Report from the NICC, the National Interagency Coordination Center. If we observe the graph that the number of wildfires does not have such an expressive variation, always orbiting around the average, being, in fact, the average of 5 years with 59,599 fires smaller than the average of 10 years with 61,285. The same occurs for the graph taken from the same report on the amount of acres burned in wildfires, with one detail: the average of 5 years is greater than the average of 10 years, so, considering the two graphs, we can see that despite the number of wildfires having a downward trend, the area affected has an inverse trend of increase. But who is this NICC? Let them answer themselves. The description is found on the NICC website itself. Located in Boise, Idaho, the National Interagency Coordination Center, NICC, serves as the focal point for coordinating the mobilization of resources to wildland fires and other incidents throughout the United States. The NICC also provides predictive services-related products designed to be used by the internal wildland fire community for critical decision-making surrounding incident management and resource allocation. Looking at the website, it is also verified that it is maintained in real time with statistical information on wildfires. However, despite the decrease in the number of fires, albeit gradual, it contradicts various news reports about wildfires. This can potentially cause some confusion among the general public. At this point, it is necessary to zoom out the timescale to have a better understanding of what is actually happening. When checking the data found in the NICC, which presents as much information on wildfires as on areas destroyed since 1983, it is easy to observe the average increase in the area destroyed. As for the number of wildfires, despite the jump in 1985, it has remained average or even a slight decrease. Similar information to that observed in the prior data. We can conclude that wildfires are becoming more devastating. Although the average number of wildfires has not had a significant increase, the area destroyed has been increasing. This can be clearly seen in the ranking of the NGO Earth.org, which presents the 15 largest wildfires in U.S. history. It is worth noting that the article is from September 15, 2022, therefore, not including the recent fire in Maui County, Hawaii. In this way, let's head to the largest wildfire in the United States up to 2022. Be aware of the year of each one, it is a very important observation. Number 15. The 1881 Thumb Fire, Michigan. Commencing on September 5, 1881, one of the most massive wildfires in the annals of the United States ignited within the Thumb region of eastern Michigan. Dry summer conditions and a prevailing drought are believed to have exacerbated the fire's intensity. Scorching an extensive expanse of approximately 1 million acres, the inferno rapidly spread across Lapeer County and extended into Huron, Tuscola, Sanilac, and Lapeer counties. The devastating toll of the fire amounted to at least 282 lives lost. Such was the magnitude of the blaze that it emitted copious amounts of soot and ash, partially obscuring the sun on the east coast and casting the sky in a yellowish hue. Number 14. The 1884 Great Hinckley Fire. In September 1884, the Great Hinckley Fire erupted in close proximity to Hinckley, Minnesota. During that era, it was customary to remove branches from trees before felling them for timber, leaving behind pine forests laden with dry, lifeless branches. This served as a potent fuel source for the fire, enabling it to consume a staggering 250,000 acres in a mere 4 hours. Officially, the fire claimed 418 lives, but historical accounts suggest that numerous Native Americans also perished, their deaths regrettably omitted from the official fatality count. Number 13. The 1871 Peshtigo Fire, Wisconsin. The ignition of this conflagration occurred on October 8, 1871, scorching an area of approximately 1.2 million acres. The toll was devastating, with at least 1,152 lives lost, rendering it the deadliest wildfire in U.S. history, surpassing all other such disasters. It's noteworthy that this calamity unfolded on the same day as the Great Chicago Fire, which garnered greater attention and consequently overshadowed the magnitude of the Wisconsin fire. Before we continue, please consider hitting the like button. We can assure you that this will not cause any fires. It's safe, and it really helps the channel. Let's continue. Number 12. The 1871 Great Michigan Fire. During October 1871, the Great Michigan Fire commenced as a collection of smaller fires that eventually converged. This devastating inferno swept through the communities of Holland, Port Huron, and Manistee, extending its destructive reach to the Lake Michigan shoreline. The fire is approximated to have incinerated a minimum of 3,900 square miles of Michigan's land, resulting in the tragic loss of approximately 500 lives. Number 11. The 1902 Yakult Burn. This term refers to a series of numerous fires that swept through Washington state and Oregon from September 8 to September 12, 1902. Collectively, they resulted in 65 fatalities and consumed approximately 500,000 acres of land. Apart from human negligence, the unusually dry summer of 1902 and the accumulation of leftover logging debris that hadn't been adequately burned off in the previous 2 summers served as fuel for these fires. Number 10. The Great Fire of 1910, Connecticut. Termed alternatively as the Big Burn, Big Blow-Up, or the Devil's Broom Fire, this wildfire raged across the states of Idaho and Montana in the summer of 1910. Despite its relatively short duration of just 2 days, powerful winds prompted the initial fire to merge with other smaller blazes, coalescing into an immense conflagration that laid waste to 3 million acres and claimed the lives of 85 individuals. This event stands as one of the most catastrophic wildfires in the history of the United States. Number 9. The 1918 Cloquet Fire. On October 12, 1918, a wildfire erupted in Carleton County, Minnesota, ignited by sparks from a passing railroad, exacerbated by the exceptionally arid conditions prevailing at the time. The inferno laid waste to over 250,000 acres of terrain, resulting in the tragic loss of at least 550 lives, with an additional 12,000 individuals either injured or forced to leave their homes. Number 8. The 1988 Yellowstone Fires. These fires, when combined, gave rise to the most extensive wildfire ever documented within the boundaries of Yellowstone National Park in the United States. Driven by drought conditions and propelled by winds, the flames rapidly escalated beyond containment, amalgamating into a single colossal inferno that persisted for several months. It was only the arrival of cool and moist autumnal weather that finally quelled the fires. The fires had a profound impact, affecting a vast expanse of 793,880 acres, which constituted approximately 36% of the park's total area. To combat the inferno, a peak force of over 9,000 firefighters was deployed, and at one juncture, more than 4,000 U.S. military personnel were enlisted to provide assistance. Number 7. The 1991 Oakland Hills Fire, California. Originating in the hills of Oakland, California, on October 19, 1991, this renowned wildfire initially began as a wind-propelled brush fire but rapidly escalated into a firestorm that wreaked havoc in residential communities, leaving approximately 3,000 homes and apartment buildings in ruins. Within a mere span of 2 days, the inferno advanced across 1,520 acres of terrain, resulting in the tragic loss of 25 lives and leaving a minimum of 150 individuals injured. Number 6. 2004 Alaska Fire Season. The 2004 fire season in Alaska stands as the most severe ever recorded in terms of the expanse ravaged by wildfires in the history of the U.S. state of Alaska. A staggering 6.6 million acres of land succumbed to the flames, ignited by a total of 701 fires. Among these, 215 were triggered by lightning strikes, while the remaining 426 were ignited by human activity. The summer of 2004 deviated significantly from the typical interior Alaska summer climate, with its extraordinarily warm and wet conditions that led to an unprecedented number of lightning strikes. Following months of frequent lightning and rising temperatures, an unusually dry August set the stage for fires that persisted well into September. Number 5. The 2013 Yarnell Fire, Arizona. On June 28, 2013, the Yarnell Hill Fire ignited in Yarnell, Arizona, and it is suspected to have been initiated by a lightning strike. This wildfire consumed over 8,000 acres of terrain and tragically claimed the lives of 19 firefighters, establishing itself as both the deadliest and most extensive wildfire ever witnessed in the history of Arizona. Number 4. The 2017 Tubbs Fire, California. In October 2017, the Tubbs Fire ignited in Northern California, marking just one of over 200 wildfires that plagued the state that year. This wildfire ravaged an extensive area spanning more than 36,800 acres in Sonoma and Napa counties. Regrettably, it claimed the lives of 22 individuals and laid waste to numerous residences, with the city of Santa Rosa alone witnessing the loss of 5% of its housing inventory. Number 3. The 2018 Camp Fire, California. The Camp Fire, which was first reported on November 8, 2018, in Butte County, swiftly escalated to become the most lethal and extensive wildfire ever documented in California. It consumed a vast expanse of 153,336 acres, laying waste to almost 19,000 residences and claiming the lives of a minimum of 85 individuals. Even though it was brought under control by November 25, the search and rescue operations persevered well into December. Number 2. The 2020 Bay Area Fire, California. Originating in the Bay Area, the Bay Area wildfire emerged as one of the most extensive wildfires in the history of the United States, sweeping through regions in California, Oregon, and Washington state. As of September 15th, it had devoured nearly 1 million acres of terrain and claimed the lives of at least 35 individuals. At its peak, an area equivalent to that of Washington, D.C. was being incinerated every 24 hours. The North Complex Fire, by itself, was responsible for charring over 300,000 acres of land and causing the demise of 16 individuals. In 2020, 5 out of the 6 largest conflagrations in the state were documented. Concurrently, researchers from Stanford University approximate that the smoke and resulting deterioration of air quality led to a substantial number of additional fatalities in California's cities, as well as in Washington and Oregon along the West Coast. Number 1. The 2021 Dixie Fire, California. After an exceptional heat wave in June 2021, California found itself in the midst of yet another outbreak of fierce wildfires. As reported by CAL FIRE, these fires have consumed over 463,000 acres in Northern California, resulting in the destruction of numerous buildings and posing a threat to nearly 14,000 structures. Specialists have cautioned that the remarkable expansion and enormity of the Dixie Fire can be attributed to the severe drought conditions and the rise in global temperatures. In 2021, the Dixie Fire earned the distinction of being the second largest fire in the history of California. So that's it. This was Earth.org's list of the largest wildfires in the United States up to 2022. Many of you may have noticed that the format found on the website itself and even presented in this video behaves like a ranking, but is it really one? We believe it's not, but it was intentionally presented this way to make you think during the presentation. The only undeniable fact is that wildfires continue to cause destruction and suffering for many people.